name is Jenny, and I'm a wife and mom raising 2 kids. But I used to live a more glamorous life as a TV reporter. I was on the nightly news interviewing pop stars and politicians. So when I said goodbye to TV and hello to motherhood, I suddenly discovered what we moms are up against. We live in a world that tells us to be rich and famous, thin and successful. You know, almost nobody says, "Oh, hey, you're a mom? That's fabulous." But you are fabulous, and I'm here to tell you why.
It's the Channelmom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
All right, well, an early Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah, so on and so forth. And I'm just going to have a very quick commentary today, just to, I don't know what the word is, put a little, lift in your step. Something in your craw. I don't know what the right phrase is, but I want to inspire you to be more today. That's what I want to inspire you to be. I saw a TV piece on a family who is from Atlanta. The name of the family is the Lakins. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Jay and Beth Lakin. They were living the American dream. I've seen a picture of their home that, is 4,000 square foot home in a beautiful neighborhood, just had been landscaped. They all new furniture, just 2 new cars, the whole 9 yards, just living the American dream materially. The husband was making good money in the mortgage business and everything was going great. They looked really good. They said they looked up one day and said, we've achieved it and we don't feel much at all from achieving the American dream. They said they basically felt empty. And so they felt like they were supposed to try more. So they went on a mission trip to Africa and helped those who were truly destitute, scrambling for food every day, which is something that many of us don't know. We don't know that feeling. Literally scrambling to feed their children so that they could live to the next day. They said they came home, lay down on their fancy living room floor in their beautiful home, and just cried because of all they had. And yet, they said, the reason they were crying was because they realized how poor they were, which was such an interesting notation to me. And the thing that I want to say to you this morning is I think so many of us, especially during the holiday season, say, really? This is what it's all for? Was racing from here to there, buying gifts from here to there, going broke, going in debt just to trying to get that person this and impress this person and have this holiday party and do this and do that. And in the end, at the end of the day, we sort of are all asking the same question, which is, really? This is it? And where's the love and where's the hope and where's the peace and where's the joy and where's the goodwill and so on and so forth? I mean, really? And so I just challenge you today. This family did something amazing. They gave it all up. They sold that. It looks like about a 4,000, 5,000, somewhere in that range, 4,000 square foot house. I think they sold their cars. They bought an RV and they began to travel the country just to bless people. They showed up at shelters. They showed up at food banks. They fed people food in soup kitchens, animal shelters. They just started to bless people. And one of the most poignant moments, this family looks like just so all-American. Four kids, 2 girls, 2 boys. They look perfect. Just gorgeous people.
That's a lot of people in an RV.
It is a lot of people in an RV. So it was a sacrifice on their part and on their kids' part. I presume she homeschools because they're traveling the country. These little all-American looking family under the bridges, loving on homeless men, was amazing to see. And one man said, I think what he said was, do what you say. I challenge you to do what you say. They're Christians and said they were out there to love on people. And he said, I want to see it. Do what you say. So it was just, and they gave up everything just to do something. And what I challenge you today to do is to say, yeah, I do have that feeling, that burning question. Just do one little thing that you wouldn't normally do to bring you into that place where you think, aha, I got a little hold of the love today, the goodwill today, the peace, the joy, the hope. Instead of just doing everything that we all think we're supposed to do. Rush off to the department store and buy 50,000 gifts we can't afford. If you want to look at this family and you want to learn a little bit more about them, their website is passiontoaction.org. Passiontoaction.org. And that's my commentary. And now it's time for the news, Daniel.
If you're tired of the same old news,
what more do you want?
I want the truth.
You're hearing it. Strap yourselves in, folks.
never fear.
What's the dealio?
Part of life is learning to let things go.
We've got news moms can use.
What was that name again? I missed that.
News moms can use.
Okay, Shelley, I welcome your comments on the news today. In the news this week, we've got the latest stories. And you know what? We pick our news stories based on what we think moms would like to hear. I challenge you to find another radio station, TV station, entity, network, etc., that actually picks their stories based on what they think moms need to hear. That it's not all murder and mayhem that we're about to tell you about today. So that's good news. All righty. It is almost Christmas, so I've just got to begin with a feel-good story this morning that you and your children are going to like. This is one you can Google with your kids to see some very cute photos. Imagine you go to the couch to sit down and have a cup of tea, and you realize you've got to share your couch with an unexpected guest. In fact, it's a baby seal guest, sitting in the corner of your couch, catching a few winks after the long waddle from the ocean to your home. New Zealander Annette Swaffer got the surprise of her life recently when she found a baby seal in her kitchen, according to a report in the New Zealand Herald. Apparently, after being spotted in the kitchen, the little tyke then waddled to the couch to have a snooze. Hey, these pictures are on the internet. It's hilarious. The report claims the seal wandered from the bay waterfront through a residential area, across some busy roads, under a gate, through a cat door, and up some stairs before he was found at 9:30 p.m. My goodness, that seal burned some calories that day.
He really wanted to be there. That's crazy.
It is crazy. I hope he blessed that woman in some day. I hope she needed a little pick-me-up because he worked hard to get her that. All right, the surprised woman was reported to have said, "I thought I'm hallucinating. This is just wrong."
Yeah, I would think that.
That you have a seal in your couch. I mean, it wasn't like she lived right next to the ocean. He had to go through some major areas to get to her. She said, then it looked at me with those huge brown eyes. It was so cute. So I think she let it stay for a little while. She did, however, call the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the SPCA, who called the Department of Conservation. And I could go on, but apparently a biodiversity officer, they call them, told her that they'd been looking for the seal all afternoon. Lord knows how they knew it had gone missing. I think it's something to do with the first sea population is starting to recover in New Zealand, and so they're monitoring it more, and they're in the midst of breeding and so on and so forth. But apparently this happens. After breeding, I guess the little people go, the little people? They kind of are people-ish with their little eyes. They go off, and while mom's foraging for food, they wander off, and they do sometimes get caught in some very strange places, i.e. your living room couch. Okay. Didn't you think that was cute?
And they're docile? Like,
I don't know. They said no. They can bite you.
Cute,
they can bite you and poison you. So yeah, if you have a seal in your living room next week, please remember to call the SPCA. That's my public service announcement for today. By the way, if you want to look up the cute photos, just Google baby seal, house, and couch. I think those are some of the taglines there. All right, if your child is in public school, you might find this story interesting. As school districts nationwide face various cutbacks, Colorado's largest school district, that's right, Shell? Jeffco is, you know, because your husband works for them. Colorado's largest school district is eyeing the elimination of music for 4th and 5th graders. That's just so weird, because we just grew up with, it was automatic that you'd have music in school. You know, work groups from Jeffco Public Schools are recommending 590 jobs be eliminated over the next 2 years to help meet a $70 million budget shortfall. The cuts would eliminate the school's district's 4th and 5th grade instrumental music program.
And that's like a pullout. So that's time during the day when the classroom teacher has for planning. You know, it's one of those rotational.
Yes. And so then the teachers have less time to plan.
Right.
That's right. That's a good point, Shaw. Also, they're thinking about eliminating all middle school librarian jobs. All of these cuts would lead to an estimated $47.5 million in savings. So there you go. Quick, 2 more things. If you're someone who likes the holiday season, partly because of the food you can make or bake, we've got a fun recommendation for you. Dash Magazine tells you how to bake the cutest holiday cookies all from one dough in its most recent issue. The latest issue of Dash, which is found in the center of your magazines. It comes out from Parade, but you can probably find it in the center of your newspapers, rather. And it came out December 14th. They've got something also called 10 Easy Things to Do with Potatoes, if you need to have a lot of inexpensive food. And Bourbon Pumpkin Cheesecake, if you want something with alcohol in it for your Christmas
do you cook it? Because if you cook it, the alcohol.
Yes, I know, but it's more fun to say that. Oh. All right, finish. You can find this at dashrecipes.com. Finally, something kind of cool happened up in my very unpopulated neck of the woods this week. There's a fairly well-known Australian band that has started to receive some play on American radio stations, mostly Christian and gospel. Well, this band was in the Denver area and had an opening in its schedule, so the members of For King and Country thought to themselves, hey, where shall we go to get a kick in the door and audience? Let's go to Bailey, Colorado, of course. The gracious gentlemen of the band stopped by the Platte Canyon Community Church and played one of their most well-known songs during the concert called Busted Heart, which we're going to play for you in about a minute going into the break. So stay tuned and listen to that.
1 minute.
They were really nice guys. And I have heard them on radio stations around town, and it's kind of cool. You are listening to the Channel Mom Show, where we're celebrating you on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1510, FM 93.7. I am your host, Jenny Dean Schmidt, and I've got Shelly Krause here with me and Mr. Dan Mormon. Please watch us, channelmom.com, or come and chat with us on facebook.com/channelmom. Alrighty, here's a question for you. Do you plan to go to the movies this Christmas or holiday season, but you don't know which movies are good or appropriate for the whole family? We've got movie reviewer Holly McClure on the show coming up next to talk about the new movie releases that can get so overwhelming this time of year and tell you which ones to go to, so stay tuned for her. But first, here is that song that we promised you from For King and Country,
15.
Heart.